This game is streaming live on your computer, tablet, or smartphone via WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app.
I'm only getting started. I won't back down. It's time let's go a little harder. I won't back down. I'm only getting started.
Draymond Green carried Michigan State, and still they are down 14 as we get set for the second half. Number 5 got a lot of work to come back here in Assembly Hall. A first half where Green was in control for Michigan State. The rest of the team shot 5 of 18, and they got out-rebounded. Victor Oladipo was aggressive, got to the line. That's why there's that plus 14 in that column. Mike Tirico, Dan Dockich, Jay Billis. What about this second half?
Well, Michigan State has to square away their defense, and I mean that literally, meaning I have to square my shoulders as a defender to the driver of Indiana. They're giving an angle which is allowing Indiana's offensive player, particularly Oladipo, to get to the rim where Michigan State is fouling.
And often you see 18-5 is the free throw difference. If you're a Michigan State fan, you go, the refs are killing us here. It's not the case. I mean, you can watch with any set of neutral eyes. Michigan State has not been aggressive in going to the basket. Indiana has. Michigan State fouled a couple of shooters in the act of shooting, and that's why that margin at the free throw line is 13. Zeller inside takes the lead up to 16.
Smart by Tom Crean, going right at Adrian Payne with 2 fouls. We set a cross screen. Payne went above the cross screen, opened up the baseline for Zeller.
Austin Thornton looking for Green. There he is, got the catch. Doubled by Oladipo and Zeller, and turned it over. Watford on the push. It's a wall of white shirts. Sheehy thought about the 3. Hose is waiting for it. Sheehy took the elbow jumper. And Payne gets the rebound for Michigan State.
Watford did the smart thing. He slowed it down. Sheehy, not so much. That did not need to happen. That needed to be reversed, run some offense, get into it.
Where can Michigan State get off? And you saw Tom Izzo just looking at Apple and saying, come on, let's go. The state offense has just been in quicksand here tonight.
Just watch how many guys are standing for Michigan State. Now, there's where their offense is. Left block, Draymond Green. That's the most effective offense in the entire Big Ten. But there has to be some movement before they get the ball down in the green. Everybody's standing for Michigan State.
18-29 for the Spartans. Jay will tell us what Michigan State was focusing on coming out of the half here at our first whistle.
Like the other thing, Keith Appling hasn't been aggressive at all. He hasn't been comfortable playing against the size of Watford.
Oladipo on the deck. Nice find to Zeller inside. And Payne goes up and sends it back. Now here come the Spartans in transition. And it's Appling. Good control and a nice shot on the run by the point guard.
I think offensively he's the key, Mike. That was good control. He jumped sideways, got a bucket, but he has to be more aggressive, but he being Appling. Look for them to set ball screens left side, bringing him into the lane to his right.
Clock down at 10. Tom Crean gives him a set. Oladipo works with Zeller. Willie rolls to the basket and taken away by Payne. Spartans can take it to single digits if they hit a triple.
First half against Knicks, that play worked every time. Not so much against Payne.
Right inside of Draymond Green is a 10-point game. We're going to get a timeout here. Yep. Timeout. Indiana. Good push by Michigan State. Right out of the locker room. 6-2 to start the half and get back in it. Very creative with many of their signs. Tom Crean trying to beat Tom Izzo for the first time head-to-head. It's a 10-point Indiana lead. It was 14 at the break. Is this stop 2 on the 4-stop at 4-night? Jay Billis, got to go to work tour. Jay, you talked to the Michigan State folks coming out of the locker room at the half.
Yeah, I talked to the Michigan State staff, and much like Dan Dockich said, they talked to Keith Appling about, one, defending as they know he can defend, and also being more aggressive offensively. They felt like he passed up a lot of open opportunities in that first half. And Tom Izzo, right before the start of the second half, turned to me and said, 18-5 from the free throw line, that's the whole game. We got to defend without fouling.
And do you agree it was the aggressiveness of Indiana, not the whistles going one way?
No question. I do think that Tom Izzo thought he should have gotten a few more whistles maybe to up his side of the free throw battle.
Pulls at the top, watched by Dawson. Good find to Zeller on the baseline, but he stepped out of bounds, and so Michigan State, couple of stops here. Dan, they've scored the last 6 points and a chance to get it to single digits.
Well, that was a break because Payne was going to foul. Because Zeller had him in a spot. We'll show you the call in a minute, but Zeller had Payne in a bad spot. Zeller was either going to score or Payne was going to foul or both.
When he works that baseline so well, I've hardly ever seen Cody Zeller step out of bounds there.
Green working inside, gets a lot of attention, and the foul is called.
Let's take a look here. Cody Zeller, as Jay said, really skilled. He's not out of bounds.
Oh, you're right.
That was like one of those where the referee anticipated. In fact, I anticipated him stepping farther and getting out of bounds.
Well, that's why you don't wear red shoes. Same color as the baseline.
Sure. You know, that was a great offensive set. The first one in the last 15 minutes or so by Tom Izzo. They ran a little flex action, set Green on the right baseline, brought him to the left off of a backscreen on ball reverse.
There is some collection of heads of that behind the free throws as State shoots towards the students here in the second half. 8 in a row, Michigan State. The lead down to 8, and a turnover by Indiana. As we take a look at how the Spartans have built their program, brought to you by Craftsman. You know this familiar story. Tom Izzo, a 7th Big Ten title with the share that they've already clinched. They're trying to win it outright here tonight. Every 4-year player's gone to the Final Four. They'll make a 15th consecutive appearance in the tournament when the bracket comes out in a week and a half. This last touch by Sheehy as Mike kicks on the baseline.
Well, I think they might get a little help here. Looked like it was touched. Let's see. Pretty good defense by Sheehy.
Oh, hit the sneaker. Hit the sneaker last. Missed that. Thornton, no, with the jumper. Watford the rebound for Indiana. Let's see what IU does on this end, where they were so good in the first half.
Yeah, Mike, they were good because they moved. But I'm telling you, the last 5 minutes and a half, they stood. And when Indiana stands, runs possessions down, is when they start turning the ball over.
Watford outside the arc, had holes. Green knocked it away. He's been terrific in steals over his career. Holes no on the 3. Would have crashed the glass by Watford. Oladipo, tough release. Watford on the glass. Bodies everywhere. Oh, a takedown. Zeller threw Payne down. And they play on with Appling. And the Spartans are back in it within a half dozen. 10-0 run, Michigan State. It's just like the first game, back and forth.
Tom Crean is begging his team to move. He was circling his hand like, let's get some movement.
Oladipo pitching to Watford. Shot clock at 12, and a foul's called as Draymond Green is trying to defend. Ladies and gentlemen, the Big Ten.
I think there's John Cena. I think the Big Show is in there. Pompero Firpo.
Video update over on ESPNU. It is Arkansas and Ole Miss. And check out this play on the steal. Brandon Mitchell throwing it down. Arkansas up 50-40 with 14 to play. Just a reminder, coming up next, Kenny Boynton and the Gators on the road taking on Vandy. Should be fun 46 minutes from now. Guys?
A lot of familiar faces here tonight, Ryan. Tom and Dick Van Arsdale, the twins. Which one's which?
That's Tom and that's Dick.
Thank you. Former Mr. Basketballs in Indiana. Mr. Subway, Jared's in the house. A great IU supporter and alum. Among the celebrities, we slide down a couple, and that gentleman, Angelo Pizzo, was one of the co-directors and writers of Hoosiers. David Anspaugh also directed that great movie, which should be must-march viewing for all fans. As we get to the magic month of basketball, good drive out on the timeout, and 2 for Watford.
Right there, Draymond Green just gave Watford an angle. And Indiana is getting low on their drives, so when you give an angle, they get the step on you, and you cannot get back to them and do anything other than foul or let them go.
Brandon Wood in for the Spartans, Verdell Jones in for the Hoosiers. Draymond Green handling, work between Zeller and Jones and lost it. Verdell Jones on the push. Play joined by Sheehy for 2. Green a 3. Tom Izzo looked right at him as he came down, Dan and Jay, and he said, that was too much. You were pushing it too much. So he took, I'll take care of it. I'll get it back for you, Coach.
There's having one voice, which is great that Draymond Green does that. But there's making shots like that that's even more important.
On the deflection, out of bounds. Are you noticing something down this end, Jay, with what Michigan State's doing?
Well, when Victor Oladipo's been in the game, they're trying to force him to his left. They don't want him to go right because that's where he's been hurting him on right-handed drives, and that's where Draymond Green got hurt with Christian Watford giving him that straight-line drive into the middle.
Jones, he worked inside, and had just a little crease to go up with the layup for two.
Again, just a little bit of an angle. Verdell Jones may have hooked there, but he hesitated, and when he hesitated, Brandon Dawson relaxed. You never relax on a hesitating driver. You stay in your stance.
The number is 9. 6:15 gone by. Brandon Dawson on the take. Zeller comes over for the block. It started with good defense by Sheehy to give Zeller a chance to come over.
That's exactly right. Sheehy backed off. Dawson, not a shooter. Well, Sheehy, he backs off, stays in front, keeps his feet moving. You can't see Dawson because Sheehy's shoulders are squared to Dawson. Indiana's doing it. Michigan State isn't. Michigan State's fouling.
Block 38 on the year for Cody, 6th in the conference here in his freshman year. Shot clock at 7. Izzo's telling Appling, his point guard, you got to go. Wood out of the corner. Rebound Watford. Indiana can take it back to double digits. Green turns away Hulls. He can guard almost every position on the floor. Draymond Green. Hulls shoots over him anyway. Knicks turned away. Appling still has plenty of time. A repost for Knicks. Lost it on the way up. Wood takes it out of there, a foul call. We can barely hear the whistle. Jay, Jordan Hulls comes down, knocks down a big 2 to put IU back up double digits.
Well, he got the matchup he wanted with Draymond Green where he could step back, but he is a great shooter, an absolute great shooter. But look where he shoots his ball. That is right out of his right ear. That's not the way you would necessarily teach a guy to shoot the ball, but because he makes shots at such a high rate and because he's got such a quick release, he can get away with it. Just a tremendous shooter.
50% from 3. Only missed 7 free throws all year. Indiana's hit its last 4 shots in this game of runs. Hulls feeling it. Slipped a pass inside, but Elston couldn't squeeze it, and back comes Appling for MSU. Thornton joining the play. Fans wanted to walk. Knicks twisting inside. Patient with Zeller's size, Dan.
Yeah, really good play by Austin Thornton. It looked like he was going to jack up a bad 3. Instead, he sat down. His 3rd straight possession. Knicks has been able to step right over Zeller. First time he's been able to score.
Get to the 12-minute mark. One of the great environments in college basketball. Alive again with the resurgence of the Hoosiers. Tournament bound one more time. Zeller, the freshman, helping this turnaround of a terrific season. Appling. Job by Hulls to get in his way.
That was a great job by Hulls. What you do as the first defender back is you sprint to the front of the rim. Nobody gets past you. You sprint to the front of the rim. No layups. Make guys score over you. And Hulls did a textbook right there.
Hulls, the junior, a few miles from here, Bloomington South High School. Really emerged as a more vocal leader on this team this year. Zeller coming baseline. Deflected out of bounds. It'll be Hoosier ball with 13 to shoot on the other side of this timeout. Indiana by 9. Trying to knock off a top 5 team again. Indiana leading Michigan State by 9. Time now for our All-State good hands performer, and watch the release by Watford.
Well, good coaches work with players individually. Watch the release right there. You see Watford holding his foul through. Indiana has spent a ton of time. Now, this is how it's going for Watford. He doesn't hold it here. And if he does this in the second half late, he's not going to make. He's going to miss. But Indiana has spent a ton of time individually with Christian Watford snapping his wrist. Remember, he went through a 2-game 0 for 13 streak. He's much better now just simply by coaching.
Very active on the glass. You see, one away from a career high in rebounds. Watford 34th on the all-time Indiana scoring list. Hand check called. That was an easy whistle. Brandon Kearney picks up his 2nd. Trying to explain it away to Mike Hitch, who said enough, and Watford back in. Michigan State trying to put itself in position not only to win the outright Big Ten title, but trying to get one of those #1 seeds when we see on Selection Sunday in a week and a half. And the Spartans on this run, they've only lost 3 conference games, put themselves in position. Oh, Oladipo to the basket. Oh, man! Sea parted for Oladipo. Somebody else on this end other than Green. He misses a 3. Draymond is 25 of the Spartan 42. Here they go again. Watford inside. Couldn't catch it. Green keeps it alive. And it's back to Michigan State.
Oladipo has the look out here like he believes he's the best player on the floor. He's had it from the get-go, defending Green in the first half, driving basketball. But that's the look he has.
Wood. Nothing out of the corner. Jones goes to get the rebound. Fought for by Green, and a foul call. Not a jump ball, but a foul call.
Well, Michigan State has been taking away Oladipo's right. You can see there, but they forgot about the left. And Adrian Payne, he's just out here playing. Oladipo is competing, and there is a big Payne. He's just out there. Oladipo just playing harder, competing harder than anything Michigan State had there. How about that?
That foul was on Austin Thornton, his first. Come across halfway here in this second half. You see the 5 on the floor for Tom Crean. Trying to get his first win over Tom Izzo. And get Indiana, win 23 on the season. Shot clock at 7. Another drive, Oladipo. That time lost the handle. It's out of bounds off State.
There's 4 to shoot. 2 things have to happen in this game. For Michigan State to win, you said it's somebody other than Green. Has to do something. Green has 25 points of their 42. And for Indiana, if they stop moving people, it's going to go down the stretch. It's going to be tough offense.
Watford. Rebound Brandon Wood. So who will it be for Michigan State? Thornton's crawling for it left side. Green draws the defense, and the foul called as he was hand-checked on the way to the lane. To remind you of the Thursday lineup, games important as the teams who are bubble teams try to make their case. Michigan is still technically alive to share the conference championship. If Michigan State loses out and the Wolverines win out, Illinois snapped a 6-game slide to see if they can get their tournament resume better. And #1 Kentucky will take on Georgia in the doubleheader Thursday night. It's a foul by Pritchard on the entry pass. Team fouls on Indiana. Jay, what's your thoughts on the other #1s? Because we all agree Kentucky and Syracuse are locked in stone on the 1 line.
Yeah, there's no question. So what happens in the Big 12 between Kansas and Missouri is going to tell us a lot. What happens in the ACC between Duke and North Carolina is going to tell us a lot about those last 2 #1 seeds. And when you hear people say that #1 seeds aren't important, I think they are. That #1 seeds advance further in the tournament generally than any other seed. Why not, if they're handing them out, why not take one?
Absolutely. Pritchard just picked up back-to-back fouls. He's got 3. Zeller comes back in, pulls in for Roth. And on this trip, 3 fouls drawn by Michigan State on the Hoosiers.
I want to piggyback Jay's point real quick. We blew a #1 seed in 1989. In 1989, Michigan and Illinois went to the Final Four. We won the Big Ten at Indiana. And I was an assistant coach there. Now, we played our subs, didn't get a #1 seed. Michigan did. Went to the championship game, won the national championship.
Kearney steps in, deep 2, short. Wood got it. Shot clock did not reset, didn't hit the rim. Green, contact with Zeller, and it'll go the other way. As the program went down after Kelvin Sampson and those violations, as you said, walk-ons were playing, other athletes were playing. the fan base stayed supportive of Indiana as a whole. But now that it's come back out of the darkness, 8 Big Ten wins in 3 years before this year's 9, and maybe a 10th here tonight, this place as loud and as proud as ever.
I think Indiana fans appreciate it more. Like, I really think that Coach Knight's success got kind of assumed. But now, because you go through tough things, I think this fan base has been awesome, by the way, coming out when they won 6 games, selling out, all that kind of stuff. And I think they're a more appreciative fan base from having go through struggle.
State has missed its last 5 shots. They go inside to their All-American, and Draymond Green takes it up to 27 points here on the night.
You just can't have Watford on him. And if you are going to have Watford on him, then you have to put Watford in front of Draymond Green and put his hands straight up so that any lob goes out of bounds. But every time Watford's been on Draymond Green has killed him.
Zeller on the drive. Doesn't finish. Green the board. Michigan State got close earlier in the half. Indiana pulled back away. Appling a transition jumper. Oladipo takes it away for IU. Wood finally doesn't give him the left lane to the basket. Entry inside Watford. Green 27 and a half dozen boards to go with him. Appling finding space. Thornton, triple, got them all. Big three-pointer. Austin Thornton, it's back to a half dozen. Zeller early work on the offensive end. And that time, Jay, he was able to get good position right from the start.
As Dan said, he got a foot in the paint. He's not catching it, letting himself get pushed off the block. He did his work early to make that catch.
Zeller running back on the other end, stopped Appling with a foul. 8-point game as we hit the timeout. We mentioned the Magic's back. Who will forget this moment in December when Watford hit the shot and Assembly Hall erupted.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by KFC. Bring something different to the party with KFC sauceless hot wings. Now just 50 cents each. And in part by the 2012 GMC Sierra. It's our best Sierra ever.
Studio update elsewhere in the Big Ten. Minnesota taking on Wisconsin. Badgers currently a 4 seed, according to Joe Lunardi. Andre Hollins knocking down the 3. Golden Gophers with a 3-point lead, 16-13. UConn currently a 10 seed, according to Joe Lunardi. Deadlocked with Providence, 54-54. The Huskies have lost 7 of their last 10 in desperate need of a win. West Virginia is a 12 seed, but looking good, up 19 on DePaul. Arkansas by 4, and Texas A&M down 5 to K-State. Just a reminder, coming up next year on ESPN, we head to the SEC. Irvin Walker and the Gators on the road against Vandy. Gentlemen.
All right, Ryan, thank you. And a lot of your seed conversation as Draymond Green is trying to carry Michigan State to a 1. It's something you're going to hear a lot over the next 10 days, Dan and Jay. I'm sure you agree as Appling comes to the line. The bubble's really weak. There are a lot of teams. The fact that Connecticut, with the slide that they've had, we're still talking about a 10 seed potentially for them. It gives you an idea, and that means championship week. Some teams, Jay, can get on a run and find themselves out now and in 10 days.
Well, and there are a couple of them in this conference. I mean, Northwestern, if they can win a game or 2 in the Big Ten tournament, I think they've got a great chance to get in for the first time ever. And I agree with you, Mike. I do think this is a soft bubble at the end of the line. One win is going to make a gigantic difference as to whether you get in or whether you play in the NIT.
Ohio State and at Iowa, Dan, for Northwestern coming up this week.
Yeah, I've said this before. I mean, people that don't like the look test don't know what they're looking for. I saw VCU last week. They're 25-6. And I'm telling you, that's a better team than Minnesota. That's a better team than Northwestern. That's a team that I think is an NCAA tournament team. Their numbers are awful in terms of the seed, but VCU is a team that's better than the teams that I've been watching.
Here are the teams on the bubble. You figure the 5 ranked teams in the Big Ten are guaranteed to get in. Purdue got a big win this past weekend, so they're sitting at 39 in the RPI, over 500 in the conference with the best RPI. Northwestern, I just talked about their 2 games. Illinois has sitting on its resume something bubble teams will not have. Win over Ohio State, a 2 or a 3, and a win over Michigan State, a 1 or a 2. That's going to look really good when you put them side by side if Illinois can close strong.
And they also beat Gonzaga earlier in the year.
Right,
and that's a big RPI win for them and a top 25 win.
Like, I'm all for teams. That's great. But win some games.
Yeah, you
like,
gotta win it.
win
That's right.
games when it's tough. Like, this is tough. You're playing a team twice in your league. They've scouted you. I mean, I understand you won early, but win some games down the stretch. Northwestern, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, win some games.
There's a big rebound there by Watford. Michigan State's cut it to 6 3 different times. Zeller split that pair, so it's 7. And another trip under 6.5 for IU.
The best defender has been Draymond Green for Michigan State in this second half. He's carrying this team on both ends.
Knicks turned away the lane for Oladipo. Shot clock at 2. Here's Sheehy. Short. Rebound loose, and Indiana's getting extra trips here. Tom Izzo furious. Watford triple. Banked it in! Oh, yeah! Timeout, Spartan. Tom Izzo went right to Brandon Dawson. You got to get that rebound because that was really 5 tries on that trip. A couple of offensive rebounds, the missed free throw, and it results in a 10-point
And
lead.
you know, I mean, the shot is one thing. I actually think he got fouled here by Draymond Green. My angle looked like Green fouled him, which made the bank shot. But you're right. Michigan State is a team that prides itself on defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding. Looked like Green may have got him, but they didn't get the rebound off the free throw. Yeah, and you can see Izzo right here. You got a rebound.
Yep.
And that's what they do every single day. They have that war drill. He calls it cutouts. I mean, it's a physical battle for the ball. They pursue the ball really like nobody else in college basketball. When they don't do it, you know, that's, I mean, he banged the scorers table as hard as any foul in this game.
I thought he was coming at you. I thought he wanted a piece of you, Jay.
Hey, there are a lot of coaches that do.
Draymond Green has 27 and the Michigan State 49. The All-American has carried the Spartans in a game where they have not played well. Green has more field goals, 10, than the rest of his teammates, 9. Watford, good defense, but a foul. Here on Green. That's Indiana's 7th, and we're at the 1-1 with 5.5 to go.
That was so great by Green. Green got it against Watford. You're going to see Nix come over. Watch Nix. You're going to see him come into the screen. Get out of there, he says. I'm taking this guy. I'm the senior. I'm the All-American. Get out of my way. I'm going. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I believe you're going to see a steady diet, particularly if Watford is on Green, of Green left block. However they get him, they're cross screen him, down screen him, back screen him, whatever. Green left block against Watford is going to be 5.5 minutes of Michigan State offense.
Green has moved himself up 3 spots on the all-time Michigan State scoring list into the top 20 here tonight. His career high was the game against Gonzaga out in Spokane in December. He had 34. He has 29 now. The lead is 8. On this end, Hulls threw it away. It's a turn. Oh, no, it was knocked out by Michigan State. No, that's right. It was just off of Hulls. Bad pass. Spartan ball. Nix going right at Zeller. Green went up to get the rebound. He and Hulls battle for it. Green touched it last.
That's bad point guard play. That's just bad point guard play. Nix hasn't been able to do anything against Zeller in this half. And instead of throwing the ball and reversing it, let's see who this is off of. I think he was off of Green, but you reverse it. They're running a set. Reverse it to Dawson. Green down screens left block. Reverse it, throw it in there. You don't throw it into the first side. First side post scores about 30% of the time. Ball reverse post scores over 6 to 7% of the time.
Better on this end, Michigan State. 18 points allowed this half. He found Zeller. Zeller almost surprised. 1, that the ball came, and 2, how wide open he was. Cody only had 4 in East Lansing first meeting. Nix draws 2. Dawson a tough catch foul. The 1-1 comes with 4:29 to go.
Izzo just talked to Austin Thornton about what we've been talking about this whole game. Michigan State, because of their angle on the driver, Thornton got beat, forced help. Next pass, Zeller layup.
Foul on Sheehy, his fourth. Dawson missed the first.
Well, they've really struggled guarding the ball all night long. I mean, they've been put into help on a lot of different possessions. That's why they gave up so many free throws in the first half. And I've always felt the best defenses help the least because they are able to stay in front of the ball.
I'm telling you, Jay, it's because they're given an angle. And Indiana has been well schooled in getting low on the drive. You square your shoulders to the ball, and you back off if you have to against everybody but holes, and you just keep the ball in front. But if you give an angle, Indiana's just beating them, getting into the lane, getting anywhere they want.
Zeller knocked down, no call. Hulls a three. Got it! That wasn't a great shot until it went in. And now the lead is 12. Green working, watched by Zeller. Player of the year over the freshman of the year, potentially. And a missed three. Indiana scored 9 of the last 12. They'll raise the roof if they score on this trip. And Izzo would need to stop it with a timeout. Another three, this one's off. Dawson was there defensively. They want the deflection by Dawson. They say no. It will be Michigan State ball as we hit the under 4-minute timeout.
Jay said it. He has the quickest release in basketball, in my opinion. He gets the ball into the shooting pocket so fast. That's from being a little guy his whole life.
Update, checking in on the defending national champs UConn, tied at 56. Bryce Cotton buries a three. Providence on a 26-7 run. So here's UConn down 5, an RPI of 30, a strength of schedule that's #1 in America. Coming up next, it's Florida and Vandy 17 minutes from now. Great look at Jeffrey Taylor getting ready for the big game in the SEC. Guys?
All right, Ryan. Jay Billis, Bill Raftery, and Sean McDonough have some interesting Big East games, especially involving UConn. This was right when the timeout was called. This was Tom Izzo and Draymond Green before they joined the rest of the team in the huddle.
I can do it in Upper Peninsula voice if you want me to, but here's exactly what he's saying. He's saying, Draymond, let's let the offense. I know you're trying. I know you're carrying us. But the last possession, he dribbled it down, waited for a ball screen, stopped, hung out, jacked up a bad three.
Zeller came out on the hedge. He took it away. To the basket, Zeller! That is almost 7 foot of steel, break, slam. 14, under 3 minutes to go. 11-3 run, Indiana. Oladipo got a hand in there, so did Watford. And the foul is called. Jay, this is what you talked about, his ability to, on the defensive end, impact it.
I mean, look how he moves laterally. He took 2 big steps to get out and cut off that drive off the little ball screen and did a terrific job with his left hand to knock that ball away. He's got great hands, a great feel for the game at a high activity level. He impacts the game in so many different ways that don't show up in a box score.
I've got him first team all Big Ten.
Air ball from Wood. Ofer. Green, no. Nix, no. Zeller, yes. Michigan and Ohio State fans rooting for Indiana, trying to stay alive for a share of the conference title. If they win out, and then the Spartans lose at home on Senior Day, Green Senior Day, Sunday in East Lansing. Verdell Jones got hit on the head as he shot. He'll come to the line with 2:17 to go. We have NBA tomorrow. Jay, will you be doing this game as well as Derrick Rose leads the Bulls to San Antonio against Tony Parker? Spurs on a great run on their rodeo road trip. They're back in the Lone Star State. We've got it for you, ESPN, tomorrow night, 9 Eastern time. The Gotta Go to Work tour has not gone pro yet. Jones with one. It's been great to have you here tonight. This is a fun 4 days for you as well.
Oh, what a tremendous atmosphere this is tonight.
Great.
I mean, two outstanding teams, and I'm kind of upset at my coach. He never brought us to play here. We'd love to play here.
Really kills you.
These guys are contemporaries playing right around the same time. No field goals, 5 minutes for the Spartans. We're hitting 2 minutes. Travis Trice came in off the bench. He hit the side. He came in when Wood put up an air ball, and he hit the side of the backboard. Green on the take and on the spin. It's taken away by IU. And Oladipo spins it back out under 2 minutes, and Watford brings it out. Verdell Jones, 134 to go.
Mike, of the games we've done, and we've had great games on Super Tuesday, and I know this is our last Super Tuesday, and I can't tell you how much fun and how much I've learned from you.
Oh, stop. It's been great.
No, it's true.
It's been great.
But isn't this the best performance by a team we've had all year?
Absolutely.
By Indiana?
No doubt. Complete performance against a good team.
Right.
Playing well. Spartans had won 7 in a row coming in. Struggled to get it in. Just getting it in time was Watford. Minute and a half left. It's an Indiana team the last 3 years. After February 1st, they were 3-29. We know the program went down. We know why it happened. With the sanctions from the Kelvin Sampson era and the players just trying to rebuild the program. The February success, so much a part of Indiana basketball, is back. Watford no. Rebound by Knicks with $1:05 to go. Green from the top. Nice find of Knicks. He's fouled with 55.9 to go. Jay, what does this mean for Michigan State? And it's a tough place to win, as we know. Kentucky and Ohio State have lost here, but bigger picture, what does this mean for Izzo?
Well, it's a road game that they didn't play particularly well, but I think it's in large measure because of how well Indiana played and how they really accepted the physical challenge that Michigan State presents, but they just have to regroup. Yeah, I don't think it's anything. They could still win the Big Ten outright. They've still got a team that is going to be more than competitive in the NCAA tournament. If they get a good draw, this team can play different styles. You know, they've got a star in Draymond Green. They've got to get better performances out of their guards, though, especially Keith Appling. He can't play like he did tonight.
You know, talking to Coach Izzo before the game, their margin for error, they're slim. And look at, you mentioned their guards, Jay. Brandon Wood's a kid that, you know, came here to play in games like this on the fifth-year transfer rule, had scored 17 a night, and he just hasn't been here today. Mentioned Appling. Appling's had opportunity, pull up, hit shots, hasn't done that other than in transition. Nobody's helped Draymond Green at all in this game, offensively.
Again, Green 10 field goals, the rest of the team 9. Michigan State's gone several minutes without a field goal here in this game. Jones got it back. 70-53, final 20 seconds here in Bloomington. Trice lost it, got it back, and finally a field goal after a lengthy drought for Michigan State. Hose will bring it across midcourt, and we'll let the happy Hoosier fans take it home. 15-point win for IU. And another top 5 team down. Tom Crean beats Tom Izzo for the very first time as a head coach. 6 tries here at IU, 7 overall. And like Kansas, Indiana with 3 top 5 victories on their home floor this season. Zeller had 18, one of 5 Indiana Hoosiers in double figures. Draymond Green had 29. And the rest of his teammates had 23. So Indiana still alive for fourth in the Big Ten. Still might get a bye in the Big Ten tournament. That'll certainly be a big plus in the column for seeding when the bids come out in a week and a half in the bracket as well. Here's Jay.
You know, Tom, oftentimes you ask, what does this mean? But the third top 5 team in one season for this team after all you've been through, what does it mean?
Well, we learned today that if that happened, it would be the first time since 1975-76. And we know what that year was like. It means a lot. These players, the best thing I can say about them is they have earned everything they get. They've been handed nothing but a hard time by us. They walked into an incredible situation, and they've made themselves better, and just so proud of them and this entire fan base that never left us.
You know, this wasn't a game that you necessarily won with your offense. Your defense won this game. How proud were you of the defensive effort that your guys put out there?
Well, you have no chance to beat Michigan State without it, and Draymond Green is tremendous, and you've got to match his energy and toughness, and our guys did. They're a worthy champion, and tonight was our night to see where we stood against a team like that, and I'm extremely proud of us.
You know, this has been, in a lot of ways for your team, an innocent climb. Now as you get toward the postseason, you know, how do you get your guys focused on the next step and not being satisfied with what they've done?
That's going to be a tough question. But you know what? They've never gotten satisfied this year. We had a little bit of time in the middle of January where we forgot how hard it is to do this year. We got that back. I don't think that's going to happen to us anymore.
Well, congratulations on a great win.
Thank you. Thanks.
And Jay, thank you. Safe travels to Chapel Hill on your tour. Steve Mariucci, longtime friends with Tom Izzo, and of course getting to know Tom Crean at the same time. A couple of Michigan-born guys there. Mooch was over working with the scouting combine in Indianapolis, came to see the Spartans in person. Florida and Vandy are next. Thanks to Bart Fox, Scott Johnson, rest of our Super Tuesday crew, with Dan Dockich, Mike Tirico, and Jay Billis as well. Thanks for watching this presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Hoosiers lost by 15 in East Lansing, win by 15 here, and we send it back to Ryan Burr in the studio.
Thank you, Michael. So a great win for Indiana once again at home. We are working our way under 10 minutes now to the fine freshmen Bradley Beal and Florida. The Gators looking to avoid consecutive losses for the first time this season as they head to take on Vandy on the road. Defending national champs UConn, it now appears, well, there's still hope here for UConn, down by 3 with the basketball, but it is 72-69. 6 seconds to go. UConn basketball down 3, timeout on the floor. We'll keep you updated on UConn's final shot. But how about Indiana tonight? A 15-point win over Michigan State, which gives them wins over, at the time, number 1 Kentucky, at the time, number 2 Ohio State, and now at the time, number 5 Michigan State. How has Indiana transformed themselves into this unbeatable team at home?
They're getting it done, Ryan, really on the defensive end. Their defensive effort really came into play with Victor Oladipo in the first half, doing a terrific job in the post area on Draymond Green. And then at the end of the game, when you need big shots, Draymond Green trying to make everything happen for his team, could not do it. Draymond Green, 10 of 17 for the game from the field. The rest of his team, 10 of 34 from the field. No contribution from anyone else on Sparty.
You know, Fonz, when every team loses, and we've done it all year, when Kentucky lost or when Syracuse lost, you tend to pick that team apart. But Michigan State likely losing the number 1 seed tonight with the loss. What did you see from the Spartans that you're concerned with heading into March?
I think that they were just overwhelmed by the speed off the bounce early from Victor Oladipo. He set the tone for them both defensively and offensively. They used ball screens to get him coming off. His speed, the burst to get to the rim was exceptional tonight, Ryan.
All right, bonus coverage time. I told you UConn down 3 on the road at Providence. We're going to take you there live now for the final shot. 6 seconds to go. UConn led by 14 in the second half. They now trail by 3. Let's go live for the final 5.7. Huskies down 3.
Inbound the basketball on the baseline. And let's see if Providence decides to foul. And now Providence wants to take a timeout now that they see how UConn has set things up and the personnel they have on the floor.
Yeah, the UConn looked like they
so
were
a timeout on the floor, Fonz. 72-69. Providence has come back under Coach Cooley to take a 3-point lead at home. Bit of a rivalry game, 2 teams in New England. But for the defending national champs, UConn, who coming into this game have lost 7 of 10, really struggling down the stretch. Now, granted, their head coach isn't there.
Sure.
But, you know, what are you seeing from UConn that makes you think they belong in the tournament?
One of the problems I'm seeing, Ryan, is they're disjointed offensively. We've said Shabazz Napier, a guy who can shoot it from the outside, can play the in-between game, get to the rim. He's been ineffective offensively for a long span for this team. He has 8 points tonight, but in order for this team to be effective, he has to score points for them. And then, Ryan, in the last 25 seconds of this game, down 3, you don't need a 3. Get a good 2 going to the basket with those two guys' ability to get to the rim, and that's really been the difference for them, not being able to finish plays.
Well, you bring up a great point. UConn got a turnover down 3 with 25 seconds to go, and instead of taking the 2 that Providence would have given up, settled for a bad 3. Fortunately, Providence missed the free throw, so now UConn with one final shot here, down 5.7. Quickly, I'll ask you, Fonz, if you're Providence, do you foul UConn to avoid the three-point shot?
I'm a big believer, under 5, you foul. Don't give them an opportunity to go into overtime, because sometimes those long bursts, you can lose the game that way.
All right, to the Dunkin' Donuts Center we go. 3-point game, 5.7 to play.
Kofani will defend Olander.
Kofani's got a great reach. That's a good move by Ed Cooley. Well, here it is with Napier.
There is the reach in. So the call is to foul and send Napier to the free throw line. Don't let them shoot the 3. Make them make a free throw or 2. And try to hold on from there.
Be interesting to see now what UConn elects to do with Napier. He's going to certainly look to make that first one.
He is 4 for 4 from the free throw line. 3.5 to go.
Now the decision is with foul shot number 2 with 3.5 seconds to go. Do you intentionally back iron it or iron that thing up there and see if you can go get the rebound and keep it alive?
George Blaney uses his final timeout to talk it over.
Otherwise, you go for the make.
So, Fonz, Providence and Coach Cooley, they elect a foul. 3.5 to go. Guys are talking now. If you're UConn, would you like to see him make the second free throw, have to foul? Probably not enough time for that. You do have a dramatic height advantage down low with Andre Drummond. You try to throw it off the glass and hope for the best.
If they do that, then you have to have both Drummond and Oriaki in the game, and they're going to have to power their way to get it, and it could work, especially with the size advantage that they have over Providence.
Now, a loss for UConn here would send them to 7-10 in the conference, and there are a lot of proponents out there that believe if you're not even 500 in your conference, you shouldn't go to the tournament. That's not a rule, but certainly UConn has not been playing good basketball as of late. 3.5 to go, 2-point game. Let's go back for the free throw.
We're in a desperation 3 for the victory. If he goes for the make right here, Providence has got to get into their full court pressure immediately and get an immediate reach.
Drummond and Oriaki are there.
There's the miss.
There's the miss. Back iron, bouncing around, free on the floor. There's the horn. The game is over, and the Providence College Friars have won.
That was a good attempt by Connecticut. That thing was alive, had a chance for it. Almost like a Hail Mary play, though, where you're hoping the ball bounces to you. What a comeback by Providence.
Down by 14 in the second half. Ed Cooley's team comes back to win it 72-70. The final. We'll watch that final play one more time.
Great job by Napier. He back irons this thing, and there's a chance for it, but it comes out so hot that it goes up and over Drummond. Lamb with a chance for it, but a good job in there. It's like Coleman with the ball to just.
So Providence does get the win, 72-70. UConn dropping to 17-12, 7-10 in the Big East. Time now for our doubleheader. It is Florida on the road at Vandy. We'll see at the half.